and let you guys know that we will be recording this session, and any resources, including the presentation, anything that's presented in today's event, we're going to have in the follow-up email that'll go out hopefully sometime tomorrow, depending on what I have going on. But for anybody who is new, kind of run you through a little bit about what it is we kind of ask is, if you're not talking, please mute yourself. But feel free to unmute if you have a question. Definitely want to have open conversation dialogue. You can put stuff in the chat, raise your hand. While Georgia's going to be presenting, I'm going to be monitoring the chat, adding some links into it. So please put your questions in there. If you haven't already, update your name, your organization, any pronouns. You don't have to, it's just a nice way to kind of get to know people. LinkedIn for URL, so you guys can network and connect after this, and then be kind, fun, and clap for your peers. And it is happy hour, so if you have your beverage already, I would highly encourage you to put whatever you're drinking or what you would like to be drinking in the chat. I am trying out Mill Creek Brewing's Del Rey Mexican Lager. It's literally the last beer in my fridge, so we're going to find out how this goes. Kind of have that. So a little bit about YNP, if you haven't joined us before. So our really objective is to provide an inclusive space where you guys can share resources, share questions, events. So we have a group on Facebook, we have a group on LinkedIn. Facebook tends to be a little bit busier than LinkedIn, but both of them are really great resources. Participate. We get some really good questions in there. So it's a great opportunity if you have a question, if you're thinking about moving into the nonprofit sector or trying to kind of get to know or network or looking for a job. It's a great opportunity to start. Job postings, events, news, anything that you guys want. So it's great when we have some really nice engagement. Couple things with CNM that we have coming up that I really want to highlight for you guys. That beyond just this YNP event. So this Thursday is our call for entries. It's for Salute to Excellence Nonprofit Awards. It's the largest nonprofit award ceremony in the country. Will be held in October, but there's applications for awards, and you can apply for these awards, and top finalists can win up to $20,000 for their organization. So there's some really great money out there. But if you have questions on the applications, definitely come in and join us on Thursday, because we're going to be walking through all of the different awards, how to apply. You'll get to hear from some of the funders who sponsor those awards, and kind of get to know a little bit more about what to expect. Our Community Impact Certificate launches April 12th, and it's 3 workshops. And then if you do 3 electives, then you get to complete the certificate. You've got 2 years to do that. We have quite a few DEI workshops coming through. Our first one is going to be on April 20th. And that's very exciting. So I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's a DEI breakthrough. And then for all of our fundraisers here, usually quite a few fundraisers in our group. We have a really great advanced grant writing workshop, and that one's going to be actually in person at the CNM office with Dr. Bernard Turner. So if you know Dr. Turner, he's fantastic. You'll absolutely love it. And then kind of save the date. I don't have the topic and the speaker finalized yet. Salutes drain the heck out of me, but I already know when our next date's going to be, and I see my typo. It should say YNP May Happy Hour. I have the date right though. It's going to be Tuesday, May 3rd. It's going to be right before the big payback. So
that was your April Fool's, right?
Yeah. Thanks for covering for me, Georgia. So definitely save the date. I should have some more information in that follow-up email, so that'll kind of help you guys out a little bit more. So y'all are here to hear from the amazing Georgia Cross. So I first met Georgia last year through the Brentwood United Career Support Group. If you are looking for support for a new career or to join some, a different organization, they're a really great group. And so Georgia's presented with them before. It's a great networking opportunity. And through networking with her at that event, I've seen her at other events since then. So she's a really great resource for everything marketing, Nashville, wellness. But she's a senior level digital marketing strategist, and she's worked with some really big brands in Nashville for the last 18 years, including Nissan and Mars. She's pretty much my go-to person with everything marketing, Nashville, and wellness. So she's going to be an amazing speaker, and this is a topic that I am really, really excited about, that I wanted to do last year and it didn't make the final cut. And so it was one of the first topics this year that I wanted to get started. So with that, any questions, put them in the chat, and I'm going to turn it over to Georgia.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, and I definitely love networking. So if I haven't already sent you a LinkedIn request, I popped my LinkedIn in the chat, so feel free to connect with me. And so let's get started. All right. So this presentation is called Personal Branding in a Pandemic Era. And I really put this together because I've noticed that obviously during the pandemic, people were not able to get out and network. I was the queen of networking in Nashville. Up to 2 years ago, I went to everything and anything. And so during the pandemic, I did have to shift a little bit to lean into personal branding in the pandemic era. And as we know, just like we're virtually networking now, everything has gone virtual and digital. And so more and more emphasis is being put on your personal brand. So a little bit about me: a digital marketing strategist and blogger, also a yoga teacher. Like I mentioned, networking queen, and I say professional job seeker the last 20 plus years. I've been a survivor of 8 layoffs and 10 job transitions. That's because I'm in marketing and advertising, which is a very tough industry. And during the pandemic, almost every marketing person I know lost their job, because that's usually the first thing to go when companies cut budgets. But I will say I love marketing and branding. I love strategy, data and analytics. I wouldn't do anything else. And I've also been a leader in the Nashville community. I've been a part of several groups. Together Digital Nashville, Social Media Club Nashville is one that I had started myself 10 years ago. I've been involved in the Advertising Federation, the Marketing Association, Women in Technology of Tennessee. There's a SEO meetup group, and where I met Catherine as the Brentwood Career Transitions group. So with all that being said, I have come up with a kind of a branding statement for myself. I'm a social butterfly and connector of brands, ideas, and dots. On social media, I go by Yogi Marketer because that kind of combines my 2 passions. And so that has come again out of the pandemic of how do I show a little bit more of my personal side and not just business. So that is how my brand has come together. So today we're going to talk about what is your personal brand, how to establish your personal brand online, and how to grow your personal brand on LinkedIn. And then I'm going to have some free branding resources for you. If you feel inspired, after today's talk, feel free to reach out with any questions. I'll have my information provided. So let's get started. So what is your personal brand? Your personal brand is what people think of when they think of you. So you may think, oh, I'm not a brand, I'm just a person. But everyone has a brand, whether you know it or not. Oh, so think of a brand like J-Lo. She was Adweek 2021's brand visionary. She's been building her brand before it was even fashionable to have a brand. She's a singer, dancer, actress, celebrity dater. We all know that. She's entertained in Vegas with the Super Bowl. She's a mother, a sister, a daughter, a friend, incredibly, ridiculously fit at the age of 50. So when you think of a celebrity as a brand, these are all the different facets. These are all the different ways that J-Lo has influenced people in different areas of her life. So when you think of yourself as a brand, think about, what do you want to be known for? Again, your personal brand is what people think of when they think of you. You could be a thought leader, because a lot of you work in nonprofits. I bet you're an advocate. You could be a founder, a creator, a mentor, a connector. I definitely consider myself to be a connector, and that's why I put that in my branding statement, that I'm a connector. But it can also involve your personal skills. What are you talented at? Are you a skier? Are you a hiker? Are you a crafter? What are your professional skills? Are you a speaker? Like, just think about all the different ways that you have a side of your brand, and what do you want to be known for? You can think of your business services. So me, I'm like a yoga teacher. Your accomplishments. This can go on and on, but your hobbies make you a part of who your brand is. What are your values? Since you're, interested in nonprofit and helping people, sharing a mission, that can be a part of your brand. So I really want you to do a little homework over the next few days as you're kind of thinking through this, and maybe jot down, what are the things that make up you as a brand as it comes to you. And with those words, with those keywords, with those thoughts in mind, establish your brand online. Your personal brand is what people think of you, and you can strategically control your brand in online channels. So here's where just some of the places where your brand lives online. Your email address, your email signature, your Zoom profile photo, your Zoom profile name. If you have a personal or professional blog, your resume or portfolio website, your business website, your social media profile photo, and then your profile description, even your profile name, and your cover photo. So like on LinkedIn, the banner photo behind your profile photo. That is great real estate, where you could have an image, or you can have a graphic or something that really speaks to who you are and what your brand is. So think of all the places where your brand lives online and where you have an opportunity to influence that. So this is my brand, Yogi Marketer. I have my blog, I have Instagram, I have Facebook, I have Twitter. Those are my main channels that I'm marketing my brand. I went out with a friend that's a photographer and had him shoot several different photos and angles, just so I could have a collection of photos. One thing to look for is you want to have consistency across your channels for what your photo is. I also have my own custom photo that I use on Facebook, on LinkedIn for the header, and on Twitter. And they also match my blog. And then I also have a portfolio that I feature on my LinkedIn profile. So let's talk about ways that you can get business meeting ready. So if you're networking online, let's say you meet someone at an event like this and you want to connect, um, you want to send them an email, a calendar invite, you want to have a Zoom meeting with them. Um, I recommend having a branded email address, using your full name or some version of first name dot last name. Recommend using something like Outlook or Gmail, something that's contemporary, and also create a branded email signature. And here's one of those free resources. There's a tool called it's called ystamp.com, and it lets you create a custom email signature. And once you create that signature, you can copy and paste that into your email platform, just like you do where you go and set up a signature. And this can be customized that you could link from that to your website. You could link to your LinkedIn page. You could link to your company's website. There's just like tons of opportunity for branding your email signature. And then for calendar, I use calendly.com. It's free. There's a free version. It will sync to your Outlook, to your Google. You can also connect it to your Zoom account. And what it does is it creates another online profile where you can send a link to someone and they can set a meeting on your calendar. You can customize what days and times that you want to have available for meetings. And it really looks professional and just saves time with back and forth with like planning to set up a time and day to talk. Another thing I recommend is creating a branded Zoom profile, using the same profile photo that you use on LinkedIn, listing your first and last name just to be professional. And here is a little bit more about the Y stamp. So this is my email signature. I added the photo and links to all my social profiles. Now, I know not everyone is in social media, digital marketing like I am. So you don't maybe want everybody going on your Facebook account. That's totally fine. I recommend, if you don't want to do that, you may want to look at your privacy settings. Because if you are networking with people or interviewing for a job or just really anything in the professional world, I guarantee you people are looking. They will Google your name and they will see all of your social profiles if you don't have your settings to private. So you can link your LinkedIn. I definitely recommending having your LinkedIn linked in your email signature, and then a link and at least one more link to like your website, your blog, or something like that. Again, ystamp.com. This is totally free. And then here's what Calendly looks like. Very professional. You have a welcome message that you can customize, and then you could set it up for a 30-minute phone call. You could set a 1-hour phone call, or you could set it for a Zoom meeting. What's great is that it creates a meeting invite that you can send to anyone, and it also adds the meeting to your calendar and theirs, and it also sends reminders. So it is absolutely free. I highly recommend this for anytime you're doing networking. This is just a great way to manage your calendar and your brand at the same time. And then I just want to touch a little bit on expanding your brand in the digital spaces. So like I said, with your social media profiles, think about using a consistent profile photo or family of photos, and then a cover photo that really demonstrates a little bit of your personality. and then use consistent profile descriptions across all your social media channels. And then whenever possible, link them together. You can brand yourself in your own spaces by having a blog, a website. You could have an online portfolio. And so I have a few suggestions for that. My blog is on Squarespace. It's NashvilleYogiMarketer.com. I just picked one of the templates, and there's also Medium, and there's Wix. A lot of people I know use Wix because it's very easy to use and manipulate. I'm more like creatively inclined, so I like playing around with the colors and fonts and things like that. But I definitely think you should at least think about starting with some kind of online space that is your own, that you can control the content, you controlled your brand, you controlled your messaging, and that where you can be found online. Another great thing to do is cross promoting your social profile bios. You can use Linktree. There's also another one called about.me, and it's kind of just a one-page hub where you can link all of your profiles. But the thing is to make it easy for people to navigate from one to another. So from your LinkedIn page to your website, from your website to your LinkedIn to your Instagram. Just think about all the places where they can be connected. And if someone starts, reading about you in one place, how do they get to another? So I'm just going to pause here to see if we have any questions, comments, anyone or anything.
I'd love to hear if anybody, has seen anybody within their network that has like a really good branding example or
Yeah.
that they're envious of.
Yes. Oh, someone's saying Calendly is amazing, can design some templates in Canva. Yes, I love Canva. Canva is amazing because it has like stuff already set up for you. I did a lot of mine in Google Slides also too, because that's another great way to create your portfolio. Okay, so I will keep,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yes.
yeah, Canva is great for all those things.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to
There we go.
also kind of like, if you're not sure what color palette you want,
Yep.
kind of play with different colors and customize them to match the kind of aesthetic you want for your business. So when I was developing my nonprofit,
Uh-huh.
that was definitely a great tool, and Canva is free for registered nonprofits, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
Yes.
if you're
Oh,
501c3, you get Canva for free.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so this is Canva, thousands of design templates. A lot of times it's size to fit, which is what I love. Because there's every social network and every digital platform has different specs that they have. You can create your personal brand, your resume, business cards, portfolios, social media posts, cover photos, thank you cards, like anything and everything. And it's so easy to use Canva for if even like your LinkedIn banner, which is behind your picture on the on LinkedIn. I would definitely recommend pick, as far when it comes to branding and using Canva, pick a color palette, like 1 to 2 colors that pop. one to two different fonts. I really like sticking to a color palette when it comes to a brand and keeping it simple and not overdoing it with like too many different fonts, too many different sizes. Like really think about keeping it simple and absolutely do research. Look at brands that you like in health and wellness. I look at a lot of yoga brands to see what kind of colors they use. If you're interested in sports, like look at some of the sports brands. You really can get a lot of ideas from consumer brands that you can take into cues for creating your personal brand. So we're going to talk about growing your personal brand on LinkedIn. Again, your personal brand is what people think of when they think of you, and you can strategically control your personal brand in online channels. And then you can grow your personal brand on LinkedIn. So I'm sharing, this is my LinkedIn profile. Remember, what do you want to be known for? So check out your LinkedIn settings. You can customize the URL and also your visibility. There's a lot of settings that you have. I added a space where I can feature my digital marketing portfolio. I also am linking out to my blog. And so here's like a SEO tip. If you name the file, like your file name of your photo, like mine is Georgia_cross_LinkedIn. If someone searches Georgia Cross LinkedIn in Google, it's going to pop up my LinkedIn profile first. So just another tip for you to be found by people when they're looking for you. Using keywords in your title, your work history, volunteer, professional associations, all of that align with your personal brand. You can build your profile, and this is something like a career long thing to do as you get certifications. Add that to your LinkedIn. Your volunteer work, asking for peer recommendations. I have like 30 plus recommendations from peers on my LinkedIn profile. So like every job I've been at, every project I've been in, every board I've volunteered for. Think about how you can build your LinkedIn by leveraging the connections you already have. I recommend adding images and case studies under each job where you put your role. You can also put examples of websites. Somebody said it's awkward to ask for reviews. The best way to do that is giving someone else a review, and then they will give you one back. So if you go ahead and write a review for someone, they're going to be 9 times out of 10 flattered and willing to write you a review right back. And another thing is, if it's someone that's like very senior level in your organization, you can even take the extra step. I've done this before with my CEO. I'm like, hey, I would really love to get a LinkedIn review from you. I went ahead and wrote this. So you could go with what I wrote, or feel free to edit it as you wish. And he just was like, oh, that looks good. We'll go with that. So just make it easy for them. And people are usually willing to help you. Another tip is on your profile, you want to have as many as you can examples of work that you've done. So in the fundraising world, if you, were a part of an event, you could post some pictures from that event. If you have the results of some fundraising campaign, you can create a one-page slide in Canva that can graphically show some results. So I would, and if there's a video on YouTube that your company uses that talks about their mission, put that link on your profile. So you're really wanting, the goal is to have things that someone that's looking your profile can interact and engage with and learn more. If there's been a press release published, in the Tennessean about your some event that you've been involved in, put that on your LinkedIn profile. Just think about what are ways that you can really show the custom experience you have that's unique to you as you're growing your brand. And then, like I said, add the featured section. That's where you can put your own portfolio. You can link to your resume. You can put your own blog there. Just think of that as your own space that's not even tied to any employer. That's where you can showcase your specific skills and talents. Okay. All right. Now this is takes some time, and it takes a little bit of putting yourself out there, but be a thought leader, grow your brand on LinkedIn. So remember, what do you want to be known for? Or what are you the subject matter expert in? Do you have a lot of great ideas around grant writing proposals? Like, what is it that you have knowledge that you can share to others? This is where you can author articles on LinkedIn to express your ideas and opinions on topics. And then you can link to your blog or website from there. I follow a lot of marketing, advertising, social media hashtags. Once you're following the hashtags, it will bring up those conversations. I go through LinkedIn at least once a day. I have the app on my phone, and I just go through just like you would Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Just make that one of the channels that you go through and look at the feed every day. Has someone gotten a new position? Then congratulate them. Has someone posted something that their company did that they just got an award for? Comment on that. There's definitely opportunities to jump in on some, controversial or thought-provoking type conversations. But just look for ways to engage in conversations and invite those people to connect with you. And that's a great way to grow your network. Share relevant articles on LinkedIn. I subscribe to, I don't know, probably 30 different advertising and marketing trend newsletters. And so as I'm going through my email, I look for, any article that I came across that's interesting. I go and post it on LinkedIn. So, the more you start posting about a certain topic, and, people are going to look to you for ideas. It really helps brand you as an expert in that area, or just that those are the things that you're interested in and talk about. I'm a very big believer in your vibe attracts your tribe. So I think the more you engage in, things that you're excited about and interested in, you're going to attract like-minded people. Everyone loves recognition. So pictured here is my friend Leah. She was the head of social for Papa John. She's now moved on to Twin Spires, which owns the horse racing Kentucky Derby. Like, she's amazing. She was featured on an industry podcast, and she had posted about it. And I shared that post to my audience. I tagged her. I used hashtags for the industry so other people can see it. You don't always have to post about yourself. Sharing articles, expanding on articles that you've seen in other places online, bringing that to LinkedIn and starting the conversations there. Join LinkedIn groups, attend events related to your industry. There's a ton of, during the pandemic, we couldn't go anywhere. So I was starving for conversations, and I found several online virtual conferences that I attended. And just like on the meeting today, get involved in the chat, start chatting with people and connecting with them there. Then you can carry it over to LinkedIn, and then you can send them a Calendly invite, and then you can have a Zoom meeting. It's just really, there's just tons of ways to grow your network and show that you're passionate and knowledgeable on whatever it is that's your personal brand. Okay. All right. Now, here's what's really changed since the pandemic. You can be real to grow your brand on LinkedIn. Remember, what do you want to be known for? Are you funny? Are you, so me, I'm like interested in nature and yoga and wellness and self-care. And so, I share articles around that, around self-care and kind of the work-life balance thing. But it's okay to be human on LinkedIn. Even if you have a job, you still need to build your personal brand. Just like, look at my career history, eight layoffs. Like, you never know when you're going to need your network. So I think it's important to always keep growing your network. Don't just wait until you need a job to do it. Like, keep learning and growing. And you can show your personal skills and hobbies as they relate to you as a whole, and appropriate means that show your interest in humor. So like, here's something I shared. In a world where you can be anything, be the person who ends meetings early. So, it wasn't even my meme. I shared it from someone else's, but it reflects who I am as a person. Don't you think people want to work with me because because I'm an advocate for ending the meetings early? So yeah, and celebrate your wins. You can share quotes, books, podcast recommendations, anything that shows the values of who you are, because that is what your brand essentially is. If it's something that you've learned recently, a new skill, post about it on LinkedIn, write an article about it, share your experience. Also, I think it's important to celebrate wins, share your accomplishments. And like I said, comment on other success, congratulate people that have been promoted or gotten a new job. Anything that shows that you are a well-rounded person. I think the difference is we've taken a lot of the stuffy corporateness out of business. When people have babies crying in the background on meetings, when they've got dogs knocking stuff over, I'm like looking at my cat over there, hoping she don't knock my ring light over. The great thing about the culture shift in the pandemic era is that business is more human now. It's okay to, show that side of yourself in business. And that's so great, especially for the young professionals, that you did not have to go through the 2 decades I have had to go through, where no one wants you to be a person at work. That's, thank God that that is not how things are now, because I'm very much the type of person I like to be transparent, authentic. Those are things that are of value to me. So share a vacation photo, share a pet photo, maybe not every single one, but every once in a while, a holiday moment, something that's memorable that aligns to your personal brand. Catherine told me she was fostering a puppy. Like, that's amazing. You should definitely post about that on LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, look at that puppy baby. Yeah, so that's just another thing that shows who you are as a person. But it also ties to your brand. It shows that you care about animals. And it's just an extension of who you are. So don't be afraid to be real. And that is it. Thank you. Let's connect. And I'm going to go ahead and take some comments. Tell me what you learned. If you learned anything that stood out to you. Questions, comments?
Hi, Georgia. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about what is a good amount of information to put on your personal social media for work. So I've, as a new person in the business world coming out of college and starting to get established, my personal social media has always been college football games and hanging out with friends, and it's never been about work. So I was curious if you could talk a little bit about finding that good balance and how much to put in and when and where.
Absolutely. I say, one, choose your channels. Sometimes, Facebook, you want to have it just for family, and that's totally cool. And Twitter seems to be like very public. And Instagram could go either way. In fact, you could have two different ones for Instagram, one like friends and family, and then another one that is your personal / professional. And then of course, LinkedIn is obviously very professional. So like, think about which channels, like how you want to bucket your content in that way. And then, I used to always have a rule, like never have a drink in my hand on the internet. That kind of thing. But just select the channels that you want to say, this is personal, this is absolutely just private. And then this one is mix of both. The challenge for me has been tough because I have grown up in marketing. In 2009, I started Social Media Club Nashville, which is a professional organization for people in social media. So at that point, I was all in. Like, every profile of mine is both personal and professional. Like, most of my Facebook friends are also just industry business people. So I don't have that, like, everything is just family. I've really kind of given up that. But it's also that I know I'm branding. So LinkedIn is almost always, business topics and articles and very professional. Instagram is where it's all the yoga, nature, travel, that kind of stuff. And then Twitter, I haven't used as much. It's more business. And Facebook is where I am mixing I've got family on there. I've got business professional friends. And I know who my audience is for each channel. So I don't always share everything from Instagram to Facebook, only certain things. And, likewise, I don't put all the same content on Twitter as I do on LinkedIn. For my blog, I will post my articles on all of my social networks. So it's kind of a mix. So really think about that deeper content strategy of like, what are your channels and who are your audiences? Just like a regular brand, Nike has different followers on Snapchat as they do on TikTok and Instagram. So like, each channel has a different audience. So think of it that way. And just think about how much you're willing to share, and no drinks on the internet anymore.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Unless it's classy at a hotel and it's like a branded photo with the sunset and all that.
Yeah, we're all like drinking on a recorded video. I'm like, oh, as soon as you said that, I was like, well, I broke that rule.
Oh, no, great question. I love that. I'm wondering if there's anyone that has already started like intentionally branding themselves online, and kind of what is your brand? Okay, now come on, y'all all have LinkedIn profiles, so you got some kind of brand going. And here's the thing, is your brand tied to your job, or are you branding yourself separately? Caleb.
Yeah, I was gonna say with my organization, it's called Music City Test Kitchen. It's an educational culinary arts nonprofit. So in my branding with like because it's cooking based, it's culinary arts based, I always try to include like great photos of like fresh food and then I also like Canva has like really cool like graphics for like a chef's hat or like a chef's knife, things like that. And then I try to like include those type of things with my posts, my own like branding, I guess, because I'm like the founder of the organization. I don't really have a separate branding for like myself, and I do
Yeah.
my business. It kind of goes together.
Yeah,
But,
that's fantastic. Yeah, so
the
you're
Canva was really good because like I know that I wanted this like, oh, I always really like, off-white kind of colors. Like, so that's gonna be my base for like all of my like documents and stuff like that I make. I have made so many different like informational booklets on the programs that we're going to offer.
yes.
And I kind of use those like same colors and everything, colors that like look really good together.
Yes, I'm
And I
looking.
try to include that too in my social media stuff, but I'm still learning a lot about social media, and it's something that I wasn't very good at before, and especially with the way that like they're updating the platforms lately, it's hard to keep up. But
Yeah.
so this is good to know what things you can do with different platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your logo. Looking at your profile now. I would Music City Test Kitchen. See if you can add the features section under your profile. Like do some stories and
Was that on Instagram?
keep them here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I barely have anything on there. That's my newest one.
But yeah, so that's another branding space, is in the features section. And using that same profile photo across the different social media channels is another great branding thing. But yeah, Caleb's doing awesome. He's kicking it with the Canva.
Yeah, Canva is like, it's a free platform, but there are certain things that are like the pro version of it.
Yeah.
Like you get access to like higher resolution photos and different
Yeah, there's a
like
ton of
templates and stuff. But like, yeah, if you like, you can register if you're like a 501c3 nonprofit, and then you can get like the premium features for free. Like all of them. So you can have access to every single template, every single photo they have.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. Yeah. And once you have like your set of brand colors, your color palette, and your few different, fonts you want to use, it really just is so simple to just, create a brand from there. And I'm happy to help show anyone. I'm also doing some freelance brand coaching, if anyone is interested in that. And then I also have been thinking about myself doing brand coaching workshops. So I was going to do it for yoga teachers because that's like my passion, but definitely open to thinking about if you guys are open, want to do like a workshop sometime. And go through Canva and like create just your brand templates. Definitely open to something like that. But yeah, well, I'm going to pass it back to Catherine.
I'm glad you did that, because I had like one quick question for you that, like, we're marketers, so we get it. But for people who aren't marketers, like, what can branding like really do? Like, at the end of the day, like, what is, like, it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take, planning and a thought process. But like,
Yes.
what have you seen for people who have really been intentional about their brand? Like, where has that taken them?
Well, I will say for me, it has definitely landed me jobs. It's landed me speaking presentations, opportunities like this. Yeah, and I've made some really great friends that were first LinkedIn friends that have become like some of my best friends, just through getting out there and networking. And so many people have, again, your vibe attracts your tribe. So many people have reached out to me and connected with me. I just made a really good connection last week on LinkedIn as a woman in Hawaii who is also in marketing and interested in like lifestyle brands, the kind of area that I'm in. I don't even know how she found me. I think it was through a brand personal branding hashtag. But yeah, she and we've started collaborating the past couple weeks on, helping each other and how could we partner? How can we reach out to brands together and create a partnership? Like, you really just never know what's going to happen when you start putting your brand out there. And mine, I mean, I really have been doing this like almost 15 years, but definitely the last 10 years has been heavy in the social media and digital marketing. There's so many people that I've met online and then we bring it in person. If they don't even live in Nashville, we've connected online, we've had conversations, and then when they come to Nashville, then we meet up in person. So I think the most surprising, unique thing is the personal connections that do turn into in real life connections, and just the opportunities that you just never know. I also started a Facebook group called Nashville Yoga Nashville, because that's my other area of interest. And somebody just posted last week that as part of the Van Gogh exhibit, they're looking for yoga teachers to teach at the event, and they're going to pay. And so I emailed the guy, and now I have 2 tickets to go check it out this weekend. And then talk to him about teaching some yoga during the event. So that's just, I mean, I just started the group and invited people, and they started joining, and now, opportunities are coming. So I think it's a little bit of just being willing to share who you are and your interests and passions. And again, it's going to attract those like-minded people. And it could be your next job, it could be your next boss, it could be just some cool event that you get invited to or to be a part of. You just never know what's going to happen. But I'll say, if you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen. So it's definitely worth taking the risk. I'm definitely an extrovert, so it comes easily just being active on social media. But I think of it just like you were networking in person. If we were to walk into the room, you're not just going to stand there. So if you join like a LinkedIn group, you're going to want to engage and interact and get to know people. I'm the kind of person that likes to want to create the party. So, if you're not finding like-minded people, create the group, start the group, choose your channel of choice and invite the few people, use hashtags to find other people. And it just keeps growing. But I really just want to encourage you to pursue both your personal and professional passions, and then think about how that creates your personal brand. Like, you're a snowflake, everybody's unique. And really focus on what are the things that make you special that you can highlight for yourself. So yeah, that is I think my final words.
So basically you put a little bit of effort into this, and it opens up doors for career growth and new friends and new experiences. So I think
Yeah.
we get that as marketers, but it's something that all of us can use. And being of our age and our generation, we're already on social media. We have we already kind of know the technology. So
yeah. It's just about, catering to your audiences on the different channels. And, I love hashtags for discovering. I don't have to explain to you all what a hashtag is. So that's half the battle. But yeah, I would love to connect with you all and follow along on your personal branding journey. And can't wait to see what ideas you have. And please feel free to share with me your successes along the way. Definitely looking forward to hearing what kind of surprising things that may happen once you start, putting your voice out there and sharing your brand.
That sounds absolutely awesome. I will tell you, Georgia, I took a full page of notes. So I learned a lot today, and a lot of really great reminders. So I'll definitely be a lot of the resources and things that you've presented. I'll definitely be adding some of the links and everything to the email tomorrow. So I considerably appreciate your time. I hope everybody took some really good nuggets away from this. If your organization has any events or anything going on in the next month, please email it to me. I put my email in the chat, but it's Catherine@cnm.org. Just email a link and a little description, and I'd be happy to put it in the newsletter. I'll have all the links and everything for Georgia, so you guys can have the great opportunity to kind of connect with that.
Yes.
I always like to leave, the last kind of few minutes to give you guys kind of an opportunity to network and connect with each other. You've got your links for LinkedIn, but it makes such a difference when you actually get to know people a little bit. So I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to open up some breakout rooms. And if you want to stay for, another 10 minutes and kind of network in some breakout rooms, you're more than welcome to do that. And I always kind of give everybody something to kind of mull over and talk about in your breakout room. So I would love it if you guys would share with each other, one or two things that you learned today that you want to actively implement that will really kind of help you guys, grow your brand and your organization. So I'm going to go open those up. If you want to stay in network, please do. I'm only going to leave it open for like 7 or 8 minutes. So it's headed up. So rooms are open, and I hope you guys share some good stuff with each other.
Awesome.